Speaking of Roch, he's right here.
What a coincidence.
Plug you all the way, Roch. Let's talk a little bit about Mark Trumbo now. What's going on with him recently?
Yeah, fortunately for the Orioles and for Mark Trumbo, he is available tonight to play. He was scratched yesterday, we were told, strained left trapezius. But he said that he feels fine. He goes, this happens many, many times. It was just some tightness he got in the upper back, kind of neck area. With the expanded roster, there was no need to push it, so they scratched it from the lineup. And it's such a non-story that as a couple of media members were waiting to talk to him, he jokingly said, you're going to be in for a big disappointment. There's really nothing here. I'm fine. I could play if needed. Even Brandon Hyde said he could come off the bench tonight hit if they needed Trumbo to do that. So nothing serious there. The knee also, he said, is actually feeling pretty good, the surgically repaired knee. He credited Hyde for the way he's been using them, giving them sufficient rest in between starts. He said the travel sometimes can aggravate it a little bit, the flights, but feels pretty good. Feels pretty good at the plate. 5 for 19. He's pointed out no home runs yet, but 3 doubles, 3 RBIs. So overall, I think he's fairly happy with how this has worked out since he came off the injured list. But this latest, we came and called a setback. It was just a little minor thing, and he's fine.
We've missed the Trumbo jumbos.
We have, yeah. It's been a while.
Let's talk a little bit about now Renato Núñez, who has had a very good year as the Orioles DH.
Yeah, he had a very rough inning yesterday. He felt something kind of tweak in his right hip area. He said kind of hip glute. So you see Patrick Wesley, the assistant athletic trainer, come out to check on him there. And then he comes back in the box and gets nailed on the left hand, and he was not happy about that at all. He kind of glares out at the pitcher like, are you kidding me? Because he said he thought he might have broken it. He goes, that's an area that's very easy to break a bone in the hand, and he was worried about that. He's not available probably tonight, and I know teams don't like the other team to know whether someone's available or not, but let's be honest, there's 12 games left here in September, so I don't think it's a huge deal. He's really not expected to be available tonight, but he thinks he could play tomorrow. He had the hand wrapped this afternoon and then took the wrap off. He got it x-rayed, and it was clean. It was fine. So it looks like he's going to be okay, but he was a little worried. He's got 29 home runs. Clearly, he'd like to get to 30. He said, look, if you have 29, you want 30. Right. If you have 19, you want 20. So he'd like to, while still doing whatever the team needs from him, he'd like to get that opportunity to at least hit one more home run.
Big-time run producer Renato Núñez for the Orioles. Now, Ty Block no longer with the team. Eric Handhold has been grabbed. Tell us about that story.
Yes, well, he's on hold. Yeah. Handhold. He is on hold. He's not going to report to the club. They did select him off waivers, so we thought maybe we would see him today or some point in the homestand. We're told today he's not going to join the active roster. He's in the organization, but not on the active roster. And basically, part of it, I think he hasn't pitched since September 3rd. They've got plenty of pitchers in this expanded roster. So they just don't want to right now put him on that major league roster. And Hyde said, look, hopefully we'll see him in spring training, which you have to leave over the possibility. There's a chance we'll never see Eric Handhold. I mean, how many times have you seen a guy who's claimed he goes on the 40, whether now or in the offseason, and then when there's a spot needed on the 40, he's the guy that comes off. It happens all the time. So I'm tearing up my Eric Handhold questions for now. I can always come up with new ones next February in Sarasota if he's there. We're not sure if we'll ever see him, but at least for now he's in the organization, but he's not going to come up and pitch this month.
That'll keep you busy during the winter with Handhold updates.
Gives me something to do, yes. I've got all kinds of fun headlines in mind. I really hope they hold on to him.
Now, how about Buck Britton's here to help out on the coaching staff? The Orioles give some of their minor league managers a break to come to Baltimore.
They do, and they've done this in the past. It's been a former Norfolk manager a lot of times, Ron Johnson. We would see him come up, and the pitching coach, Mike Griffin. Well, this time it was Norfolk manager Gary Kendall who came up through yesterday, and then he gets a chance to go home, and then they've subbed out Buck Britton, Bowie's manager. Of course, they just finished up their season, made the Eastern League Championship Series. And, Hyde said, besides the fact that it's a nice kind of reward for these guys, he wants them to kind of see the games from the dugout, to watch this team, and also to see how the coaches interact, how they do things, and to attend the various meetings. Like the first game of a series meeting today, Britton sat in on that. Kendall had that opportunity before, and he said that can be beneficial moving forward next year. But of course, we don't know who's back and who isn't. There have been some changes made sporadically, but maybe it's a good sign that both of these guys have been up. But it's something they do every year, and I think it's a smart idea, again, as a reward, but also because you want everybody on the same page. The instruction to go all the way from the lowest rungs of the minors up through to the majors, I think this is a chance to make sure that's happening and let these guys see what they're doing up here.
Now, Britton's gotten a lot of accolades based on what he did with Bowie over the second half of the season. Correct?
He has. I don't know how much longer before we stop saying that he's Zach Britton's older brother. I think he's kind of making the name for himself. No, he's only managing this organization in 2 years and anywhere. And he was at Delmarva, made the jump to Bowie. They had to go off to that horrible start, like the worst record in the minors, then up in the Eastern League Finals. So he's really impressing a lot of people. And yeah, so it's nice for him to get that kind of recognition. And maybe this is like a rising star we need to keep an eye on. So it's not just about Zach Britton anymore. We can reference Buck without necessarily having to reference his brother, though I just did it. So I guess we're going to continue to do that anyway. It's nice in theory, though.
Well, Roch, as always, we appreciate your inside look at the Orioles. Check him out at MASNsports.com.